Kigame, are you happy with where we are as a nation?
Certainly not. If I can go back to why Kenyans went to the bush in the first place, if I can just go to that moment where individual fathers, women and youth went into the bush so that they can unroot the British colonial master so that we can be free. When I look at 1963...
All right, Reuben, just a moment. If you could just sit back a bit so that we get a clearer shot of yourself. That's
Okay.
better.
Can you see me now?
Yes, carry on, please.
You look good too. Yeah.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Reuben.
All right. So anyways, I was saying the people went to the bush and hoped that in 1963 we would terminate a journey of fighting for freedom. Unfortunately, 58 years later, we are still fighting for freedom, looking for freedom. So that means something did not happen. Who is the culprit? It's not the people who fought. It's the people who took power. And instead of leading us into national unity where everybody prospers, they took off with the resources that the colonial masters had and amassed them for themselves. I mean, if we actually attained Madaraka on that 1st June 1963, we would not even be talking about the things that were being talked about in Kisumu today. You know, our forefathers said they wanted to fight ignorance, poverty, and disease. Up to this time, we are still fighting, looking for freedom from those three things. 58 years later, we only traded masters. We took away and expelled masters in light-skinned bodies and replaced them with our own brothers that have mastered the art of colonizing in a new way. You know, the British made us go into reserves and carry kipandes and so on. But we knew that at the end of the day, we could eat a meal in the reserves. Right now, we have a few billionaires and millions of paupers who live beneath the poverty line. It's embarrassing to see, anybody stand in Kisumu and then, instead of, talking about the debt crisis where we are borrowing like we are paid to borrow, instead of talking about uniting the country, they're talking about uniting two communities. How many handshakes do you have to have before you unite the whole of Kenya? How many handshakes do you have to have before you can prosper the whole country? So that's why I am very incensed to see that 58 years later, we are under colonialism.
All right.
And we must go free.
All right. Thank you for that. I want us to get into the speeches, some of the important things that were said in Kisumu today. But before we do that, Dunstan, Reuben brings up an interesting